The last may take some coaching, or you may already know what I mean. Start to move toward less of a mental focus in your life. The mind is an impressive organ. It was designed to aid us in conceptualization, explanation, and analysis and synthesis of data. And of course, in conventional consciousness, this means five-sense information. But as a human being, you also have access to often more reliable ways of knowing, finding truth, and making decisions. You have instincts to work in an instant to help you avoid danger. This innate ability works through senses through which you are largely unaware. Can you sense someone staring at you from behind? You also have intuition, which, if you can turn off the chattering mind for a minute, will tell you right from wrong, wise from insane, and when to move forward and when to hold back. You have, believe it or not, direct knowing. Many of you tell me that you just know things. You've always known these things to be right. And for some, you've been able to hold on to these notions, in spite of others insisting that you were wrong. In some instances, finding out later in life that you were right on target with your idea all along. You just knew it. You see, the forces for involution, through education and overwhelming social pressures, have tried to keep us locked in our brains, largely depending on left brain consciousness to navigate through life. Devaluing not only other ways of knowing, but trivializing everything except left brain logic. Logic in conventional consciousness reigns supreme as the way to know, find truth, and make decisions. Now, logic is a wonderful process, but it's severely limited as a way of making life decisions. It's limited by the five-sense reality criteria superimposed by conventional consciousness. Of course, under the influence of forces for involution. It's also limited by the quality and quantity of input data. The input information, in order to be useful, must be free from political, traditional, or personal bias distortion. Much input is always missing. Certainly future data, life purpose data, unexpected change data are always among the missing facts and figures uploaded into the logical process. Logic is a process, and therefore is limited because it takes time. And as the process passes through its algorithm, data changes, your circumstances move forward, new realizations arise. It's subject to what I call data degeneration. In my view, all said and done, logic is fine, although severely limited way of using the mind to come to a decision. Certainly not the optimum way for human consciousness, inextricably hooked to infinite consciousness, to make life decisions. Human consciousness, with its instincts, intuition, and in some instances direct knowing. There have been many instances where through inspiration, perhaps tapping into universal mind or some other form of unknown powers, humans have created extraordinary art, displayed unbelievable strength, or found scientific breakthroughs. Routinely, just ask your government if you live in the U.S., humans are trained to do remote viewing, time travel, or pass into other dimensions and communicate with beings existing in that habitat. These feats are done using our natural abilities, realized largely simply through training. For now, simply begin to trust your instincts and listen to your intuition. Actually, I feel your intuition knows what your life purpose is here and will help you streamline your path to accomplishing it. When you hear a request, listen to your gut. Does it say uh-huh or uh-uh? you'll find that moving with your gut response will begin to eliminate frustration and bring you more life satisfaction. Also, if circumstances are bringing you excessive resistance and you feel like you're swimming upstream, you may want to stop and change directions. As David Icke is fond of saying, stuck chuck, go flow. Mental understanding, rationalizing, or explaining will simply slow you down. Learn to go with the flow. The forces for involution would rather have you stay in your left brain consciousness, gathering logical considerations based upon your chattering left brain, worrying about outcomes and keeping you in fear of making the wrong move. If we can practice going with our gut now, then we will begin to enter our whole bodies and regain some of our natural abilities. Abilities that the dark forces do not want you to know about. Use your brain, that wonderful and powerful organ, for the purpose I believe it was intended, to conceptualize your experiences, explain things, and help others understand. Don't get it involved in something as important as decision making. Your mind has no idea what the purpose of this life is. It can only have an inkling of why these circumstances were brought to you at this time. And it can't even conceive of the being that you're about to become. These first simple steps presented here are available in much more detail from my website, pineconeutopia.com. As a planet and a universe, we have what will be perceived as some tough times ahead. Moving through this great transition from the dense, fear-laden killing field called the Iron Age and into the next era, which, quite frankly, will probably look at first much like the preceding era until we get further into it and expand to reclaim our true selves. But I feel if we can stay positive and focused upon the ultimate goal, unhook from the Iron Age fear mechanisms and build community, we'll be able to speed the transition and start to be again the proud and free entity that we truly are.